How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another automotive news video, but before we get into the subject of today's video, I did want to point out that I actually got a new camera and mic setup. So let me know what you guys think of the quality of this video down in the comments below. Any comments are helpful to me, even if it's, positive or negative. It just helps me make better videos for you guys. And speaking about helping me kind of help you guys out, I guess, in a sense, definitely be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell to turn on post notifications down below. Helps me out a lot as a smaller YouTuber in the algorithm, and I do really appreciate all the support, or any support that you guys give to me, and I try to respond to most comments too. So again, do all that stuff down below. But now getting into today's video, we're going to be talking about the new, or potentially the new NSX. Now I say potentially because technically Honda hasn't really said whether this is going to be an NSX or not, which we're going to be talking about in this video. But looking at this article by Top Gear, which I will leave linked down in the description below, Honda did recently tease two new, assuming that they're electric cars. Again, there's very little context about them other than the fact that they look very supercar-esque. Now, just looking at this first picture, the one on the right looks very similar to an NSX body style, whereas the one on the left looks a little bit different. I don't know how, but it just looks a little bit different. The nose looks a little bit longer, not as slanted, not as aggressive. Looks like there's more of an opening, more gaping front grille there. And it's almost like a mix of like a kind of Corvette, I guess, and a new 400Z body style. So again, if I were to guess, the one on the right is going to be the more flagship car, or the more expensive vehicle out of the two when they eventually do debut. But it's a very interesting tease that we have here coming from Honda. Now, before talking about these two very mysterious cars in front of us, I did just want to briefly highlight the old generation of the NSX, which has now pretty much since been ending production, or has ended production by now, I believe. But this new generation, which I actually had the privilege to review a 2019 NSX, so if you haven't checked that out, stop what you're doing right now and click on top of the video and definitely go check that out, because they're amazing cars. And for the supercars of the day, of 2016, 2017, around those years, not a lot of them were incorporating hybrid technology. I mean, you saw it with hypercars such as the Porsche 918, the McLaren P1, or the LaFerrari, but not a lot of supercars were really incorporating this hybrid technology that was found in those NSXs. Now, of course, because those NSXs were a twin-turbo V6 with hybrid electric engines in them as well, that definitely jumped up the price tag to what a lot of people considered, including myself, to be pretty overpriced for the car that was actually being offered to the consumer. Now, although a lot of people do, again, look at these NSXs as being a little bit more of an overpriced vehicle, I think that they really deserve more credit, especially this previous generation, because it's kind of ushered in the new idea of incorporating hybrid technology and regenerative, electric little motors, along with a primary internal combustion engine platform into, modern day supercars. You just didn't really see that when this car originally came out back in 2016. And the twin turbo V6 that was found in that NSX, paired with the 3 or 4 electric motors, if I'm not mistaken. I think it depended on the trim whether there was 3 or 4 in there, but that combination did produce just under 600 brake horsepower, which made the NSX a very well respected competitor among its rival supercars of the 2010s. Now, with this new reveal, it's also important to highlight some of the promises that have kind of been put forth by Honda. So basically, talking about these two vehicles in front of us, Honda has actually said that one of the vehicles will be more of a quote-unquote specialty vehicle, while the other is going to be a quote-unquote flagship vehicle. Again, I do highly anticipate the flagship actually being a new generation of an NSX, whether that's going to be fully electric, more hybrid, or more dependent on hybrid technologies or not. I honestly don't know. No one really knows right now. But considering the fact that Honda also promised to make 30 electric or fully electric models by the year of 2030 with a production output of more than 2 million units being produced per year at that time period, and also the fact that Honda did go out of its way to say that they're going to be making 2 electric SUVs in conjunction with GM for the US market for 2024 or 2026. Double check me and correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But considering all these like electric promises that Honda's putting forth, I think it's very likely that the next generation of the NSX is, if it is this in fact vehicle that is being teased, could very well be a fully electric NSX and the first fully electric NSX we have ever seen. Honda has also publicly stated that they are fully committed to become carbon neutral by the year of 2050. Now on the flip side of that, they are also looking into a lot of carbon neutral fuels for internal combustion engine vehicles, such as different carbon neutral fuel additives that Porsche is looking to develop. Honda is basically doing the same thing, and Honda is actually also investing in hydrogen fuel cells. So although hydrogen has kind of proven to be more like an inefficient fuel source that is carbon neutral, Honda is still putting money towards the research and development of certain hydrogen technologies that could be implemented in their internal combustion engine vehicles. And Honda is definitely not taken as much of a like liberal approach to this as a company like Ford has, where Ford is pretty much just going all out with their electric vehicles and the amount of funding that they're putting towards it. Honda has kind of recognized the fact that in order to gain carbon neutrality, you can't just solely replace internal combustion engines with batteries. That's just not how it works. There's definitely pollution and other destructive features of manufacturing fully electric or hybrid vehicles. So they're looking at making basically what Honda has done throughout its entire history of being a company. They're looking at multiple different efficient routes to stay very low with their costs, low with their carbon emissions, and seeing if what basically testing out the waters in multiple different directions rather than just fully committing to electric vehicles. So now that we've kind of looked at both sides of the argument of Honda's real general future, what do you guys think of these two cars? I personally, again, I am really almost certain that this flagship car on the right side of the picture that we're being teased is going to be the next generation of the NSX, whereas I think the specialty car may potentially be a nameplate that we haven't seen in a while, something like a Honda Prologue or a Prelude, or maybe even like a hybrid S2000, or honestly, I know this is really out there and you guys might roast me down in the comments below, but maybe like a hybrid Del Sol, like a new generation of a Del Sol. Again, something that's sporty and more of, like Honda has said, it's going to be a specialty vehicle, and just making it like a hybrid or fully electric. Very interesting to see what direction Honda takes these two teased vehicles in, and honestly this tease has kind of come out of nowhere from Honda, so I will definitely be looking and checking in on news about Honda within the next year and the next couple years on what these cars eventually turn out to be. Hopefully they actually turn out to be real prototypes, go through the whole development process and become production vehicles. And again, I am almost certain that one of them, at least that flagship car, is going to be the new generation of the NSX. Now let me know what you guys think of these cars down in the comments below. Let me know if you guys would be alright with a fully electric NSX, or if you think that they should just kind of rely on hybrid technology a little bit more and still keep a primary internal combustion engine platform in the new generation of the NSX, or if you think that Honda making these two cars with any sort of electric technology is going to make them just cost ridiculous amounts of money and just kind of make them overpriced like how the previous generation NSX kind of was. And again, if you enjoyed this video at all or it was informative to you, definitely be sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. A lot of you guys who watch my videos actually haven't subscribed, so please, it's absolutely free, and again, it helps me out a ton. But like always, thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one.